Okay, lock me in here. Thank you.
Lock me in. Lock me in this hide. Throw away the key. I don't think that song goes like this at all.
I don't either. I actually don't even know what song you're singing.
Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan in Miami. Over there in New York City is Charlotte Wilder. Please do not make anything of the fact that we're wearing the same clothes we wore yesterday. It's been a long night. Okay? I was in Chicago. It's cold. Got a great show for you today. Charlotte, if I told you that today was a good day. Yes.
Did someone
Yes.
around and get a triple-double?
Yes, someone did mess around and get a triple-double. Ice Cube joins the show today. He's being honored by the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame with his very own award, the Ice Cube Impact Award that they'll give out every year. We're going to talk to him all about that and more. You don't want to miss it. Also, Netflix is bringing its own quarterback-style show to the NBA. LeBron James is a producer, Peyton Manning's a producer, and Barack Obama's a producer. Barack Obama stops by to tell us all about the show, folks. You don't want to miss it. But first, this. All right, Charlotte, a lot of stuff happened in the league last night. Most of it was ugly. I'm calling this Red Wedding Thursday.
Yeah, because I stopped watching Game of Thrones after the Red Wedding because I was so mad that they killed off the characters I love. Spoiler alert, whatever. Time has run out. They basically did that last night. I mean,
yeah. Well, I don't know if they're all the characters you love, but some of the characters that you love and cherish the most are the Boston Celtics, who lost last night to Milwaukee in a game that was so lopsided that head coach Joe Mazzulla opted not to bring his starters back for the second half.
Yeah,
and that's something I can honestly say. Save the last game of the year when everything has been decided and we don't want to get people hurt.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone bench the starters permanently for the second half. I've seen
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that. Have you ever seen anything like this? Because I have not. You have an encyclopedic basketball brain. I was shocked that this
That's a new one
happened.
for me. That's a new one for me. And I mean, I know they were getting annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Joe Dumars picks up the phone and says, hey, you got to at least give it the old college try in the second half, particularly for a national TV game. I think if it were a local game, you might be able to slide with that one. For a national TV game, to say, look, we're not even going to see these guys out there. You're going to wave a white flag that early. I don't know. If I were the league, I would probably just at least make them feel the heat of an investigation, maybe not real consequences, but it just felt unnatural to just wave the white flag that early.
I agree, especially when you have a TNT crew where the camera goes to Ernie and Ernie's like, all right, well, this game is out of hand. Like, to have to say that is crazy. And also, who's to say you can't at least close the deficit? Sure, you might not win. And something that's interesting to me about this is that in the beginning of the week, everybody was saying they sat Tatum on Monday night. And everybody's saying they have a brutal back-to-back against Minnesota and Milwaukee. And you would think that that would mean you might try harder, especially if you've already rested one of your guys. It feels like they are taking advantage of these loopholes that I feel like we keep finding in the language of the player participation PDF, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I don't know if the score saves you. Like we saw the Nets get fined for starting a bunch of guys for the first quarter and then benching them for the rest of the game. I don't see that much of a difference. Obviously, the score was extremely lopsided in Boston's case, but that ain't an excuse. It can't be like, well, we did it because we're getting our ass whooped. So the idea is that these people play, and it particularly is an emphasis on national TV games. All right, really quick, I want to point out Coach Darko Rajakovic. I still can't figure out which way to say it. Coach Darko, the Toronto Raptors, fined $25,000 for his insane rant after the Lakers-Raptors game the other day. Charlotte, in 30 seconds or less, how surprised were you that it was only $25,000 when he basically insinuated, if you guys want them to win, then just let us know and we won't show up?
I was surprised because he basically, when you watch that rant, the look in his eyes, that was the look of a man. Those eyes said, I don't care if you find me millions of dollars, I'm going to speak my truth. I mean, you put it best. It was Euro coach. He went off. I almost feel like it was worth more money than they're finding him for.
Charlotte, you watch Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so remember they had that show Quarterbacks where they followed like Patrick Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes, because I don't remember anyone else who was there, because Patrick Mahomes is the only important name to remember. But yeah, they had this show called Quarterbacks. They followed these quarterbacks through their daily lives.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, that's right. A lot of people walked away with a newfound respect for Kirk Cousins, if I remember correctly. So the Netflix people are creating an NBA-style docuseries, or NBA docuseries in this quarterback style, that's going to be co-produced by LeBron James' Spring Hill Company, Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions, and former President Barack Obama's Higher Ground Productions. Now, Charlotte Wilder, as you know, I'm a huge basketball fan. I love the Bulls. I love Michael, Scotty, Phil, so do Sasha, Michelle, Malia. We all love the Bulls because we are, at heart, Chicagoans. Well, Michelle's a Chicagoan. I kind of adopted it when I moved because Hawaii doesn't have a team. But anyways, Charlotte, the streaming service is creating the docuseries, and it'll have the following players. From the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, by my estimation, the second greatest player of all time, after one Michael, Jeffrey Jordan. The Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum. The Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler. The Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, and the Sacramento Kings, Domantas Sabonis. Now, some folks across the aisle, they don't want that. They don't want Sabonis. They want the Aaron Fox. But I told them, hey, I want a little international flavor with this. So, Charlotte, which player are you most excited about?
First of all, Barack, if I may call you Barack.
It's President Obama, young lady.
First of all, President Obama
Thank
loved you in The Last Dance. I don't know. I think Jimmy Butler. I'm most excited for Jimmy Butler because I honestly think he's the only one who's actually going to give us something real here. Anthony Edwards also might, but I feel like Jimmy's could be a little more lighthearted. I was surprised when this came out that it was Spring Hill and that LeBron was going to do it. I also, and I mean this as a compliment when I say I don't know how interesting Jayson Tatum's part is going to be.
No, so noted Boston Celtics superfan Charlotte Wilder has now announced her allegiances to Miami. I'm reading this correctly. Now hold on, Ms. Wilder. Now, Ms. Wilder, I gave you a chance to speak. You got to give me a chance to speak now. You said, by your own words, when I asked you which one of these players are you most excited to watch, you said Jimmy Butler. Now, last I checked, Jimmy Butler plays for the Miami Heat now. So folks across the aisle, they don't want you to believe that. They want you to believe that Jimmy Butler is somehow a man of the people. He's a man of the Miami people. Meanwhile, Jayson Tatum, who your own head coach claims nobody talks about in the MVP conversation, he's on the list. Charlotte Wilder has no interest by our own accord. Make it make sense.
No. With all due respect, not to cut you off, President Obama, with all due respect, I mean this as a compliment. I think if you are good at reality TV, you are probably a little bit messy and reckless. I think if you're not good at reality TV, you're probably a very professional, person who's not stirring up all the time.
Yeah, so Charlotte Wilder, here's your new headline. I want this on the Chiron.
Let me finish. I think Jimmy Butler is actually someone who will be funny on reality TV without being exceptionally messy. President Obama, who are you most excited
Well, I want the Chiron to read Charlotte Wilder, Anthony Edwards is, quote, messy and unprofessional. Because
no, I didn't say
you cleaned it up for Jimmy Butler. You did not clean it up for Anthony Edwards. Now, from folks across the aisle are going to agree with you on that. I don't agree with it. I think he is professional, and I think he's clean, as is everybody on this list.
You're putting words in my mouth. I said that, I hate this segment. I hate this segment already. Take the Chiron off.
No, keep it on there. I'll tell you who I'm most excited to watch.
Who?
All of them. Because I'm a politician, and I have to give an answer that appeals to the largest demographic of people. God bless you.
President
God bless
Obama.
America.
And
One last thing.
Lithuania,
The
because
reason I
Domantas
don't
Sabonis.
think the reason I don't think this is actually going to be a terribly interesting as far as reality.
Now you're
television
insulting
goes,
me. I'm the producer. Charlotte, I still have Secret Service
Can
details.
I talk to Amin for a second?
No, he's gone. Hold on, let me see if I can get him.
To Amin?
Amin,
President Obama, can you
Sasha,
put
Michelle,
Amin on the phone?
Malia, can you call him? Hold on.
I really need to talk to Amin.
Oh, Charlotte's calling for you. She thinks that I'm being too difficult. Meanwhile, she's insulting my work. That doesn't sound like the Charlotte I know, President Obama. I'll talk to her. Yes, please do that, because I would hate for something awful to happen. I'm part of the Illuminati, too.
Wow, President Obama likes basketball Illuminati. Who knew? Charlotte, what happened? It sounds like you guys didn't get on the right foot.
Real big Yeah, I got into a real big misunderstanding.
What'd you say?
President Obama. Well, I was trying to explain, and he kept taking it the wrong way. That when
Doesn't sound like him.
because he's a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a politician, I don't think that his production company could produce the most explosive reality shows.
Charlotte, that's not nice. I'm sure he put a lot of work into that.
It is nice. It is nice. It means that there are people who are. He's a measured, thoughtful person, and like if you want, Love is Blind, you've got to be willing to get sued by people who claim you're being imprisoned, but it's good TV.
Well, I don't know if that's good TV, but I'm excited about this project. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it very carefully. And I'm glad, I, for one, am glad that they included an international player to give us a little bit of variety there. Wait, hold on.
I mean, that's what I said.
Accents.
But Charlotte, I had nothing to do with that.
Well, that's weird. President Obama and Charlotte would be so mean about it. All right. Well, anyways, I'm really excited about this. And I'm also excited for our next guest. We're going to talk to Ice Cube. Something really cool has happened. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame are honoring him with the Ice Cube Impact Award for his impacting communities through the game of basketball. I can't wait to ask him all about it. It's coming up next.
Tell President Obama thank you, and I'm sorry.
Welcome back to Oddball. Our guest today needs no introduction. He's a groundbreaking legend, and he'll be honored with the inaugural Ice Cube Impact Award at the Naismith Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts on January 15th. That is MLK Day. Ice Cube, welcome to the show. First and foremost, obviously you've had an incredible career, music, acting, the big three in sports, but being part of the Basketball Hall of Fame, having an award named after you, that has to be a special kind of honor.
Man, it's next level. Just being able to do a league like the Big Three, realizing how many people it really helps, on a lot of levels, especially mentally. Some of these guys, still have the skills that they've been honing since they was a kid. Now they find themselves, maybe out the NBA, they in their 30s, some younger than that. And to have an alternative is great, just for mental health. So we've been doing a lot of cool things, and then bam, you look up and the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is saying, hey, you've made an impact in the game that's positive, and we want to name an award after you and give it to people who are doing the same thing year after year. So it's great for me to be the first one, but it's going to be cool to keep presenting well-deserving people in the future.
Cube, is there anyone that comes to mind off the top of your head where you're like, oh, that person has done work worthy of the Ice Cube Impact Award?
Man, a lot of people, it's, I look at the people around me in the league, behind the scenes, my guy, Jeff Quanten's a partner who helped me with the Big Three. He doesn't get a lot of the credit, but, he's done, just as much as me, when it comes to, pushing the league, promoting the league, making sure the league is done at a top-notch level. We work together in tandem. So, I'm a little biased, but of course there's more people out there that's well deserving, and it's going to be fun to get all the entries and kind of find the guys and women that really deserve it.
Cube, obviously you're a huge basketball head. Your son, O'Shea Jr., is also a huge basketball head, loves the Lakers. What was his reaction when he found out that you were getting an award named after you by the Naismith Hall of Fame?
Blown away. I've been getting, a lot of congratulations from, my friends, family. He was here when we thought of the idea and just conceiving it and, seeing all the drawings and, just everything it took to put this league together. He's been here every step of the way. So, everybody feel like it's a victory lap. And so we're going to celebrate out there in Springfield on January 15th. The whole weekend, we're going to celebrate. And, it's a great honor. I never in a million years did I think I would be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Never thought I would get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and definitely never thought I would be in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I kind of feel like the first two, though, at some point in your career, either music or when you you transition into making movies, big blockbuster movies. At some point, you had to feel like I might get this at one point. The Walk of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The basketball one, I could see it being a shock. But surely you in the middle of your prime of your music or your prime of your movie career, you thought to yourself, they can't deny me anymore, right?
Well, you never know what's going on and how that stuff worked behind the scenes. I'm not a person I've never won a Grammy or American Music Award, none of that stuff. So you don't never know. I don't do rock and roll, so definitely couldn't predict that one. And the Walk of Fame, I just wasn't never, worried about how that worked and how you got it. And so, to qualify and get it, it was pretty cool. So all of them has been a pleasant surprise. Now NWA is finally getting a Lifetime Grammy, a Lifetime Achievement Award. So wasn't thinking about that, what I mean? So it's all stuff you don't even think about, man, so when it happens, you're blown away.
Cube, do you have a favorite Hall of Fame induction speech?
Not really.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be mine, what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
But, not really. I don't have one that's like stick out, stand out. I think they're all special in their own way. It was cool. I like Jordan's, him. A lot of people criticize him, but he still showed his competitive spirit, so it was pretty cool.
Well, I mean,
they all make me cry, so.
Well, I want to. That's you just made me think about something, because Jordan's speech, one of the things that people talked about was him talking to his children, saying, "I know how hard it is to exist in my shadow." And so again, your son, who's an actor, an accomplished actor in his own right, but in many ways, he grew up in the shadow of his father. So how did you kind of manage that as a dad for a child who also had an entertainment career ahead of him?
Well, we didn't know that. We didn't see that. So he had a ball. He didn't have no pressure. He, he had, a great life spending my money. It was fun. You know what I mean? It was amazing. And I asked him to be in Straight Outta Compton. I asked him, would he take it serious? Would he audition? Would he do what it takes to get the part? And he stepped up and, made a career for himself. So it was like different circumstances. He wasn't like dreaming to be a part of this world or nothing like that, or, kind of, I want to make my own way. It was an opportunity that he seized, and he had to audition. He went through more. The coach's son always get it the worst. So
Right.
he went 2 years of, learning and studying in LA, studying in New York, getting better, getting bit by the acting bug, wanting to do it more and more, and to the point where he was the best person for the part. And it was 5 other guys ready to take the part from him. So that's he said he got mad when he got to the audition, there was 4 other Ice Cubes there too. What the hell? Y'all ain't taking this from me. So he actually got attitude with it, and he landed the part.
Charlotte, I have a theory that there's nobody who can imitate a person like their child. So like if you watch Winning Time, the show about the Lakers, Norm Nixon's son plays Norm Nixon, Devon Nixon, and he's an accomplished actor as well. He was in Snowfall, but he brings something to that role where like that's not acting. That's someone who grew up around his dad and saw his dad's mannerisms and stuff. Now, Q, when O'Shea was doing stuff, did you give him any pointers, or was a lot of that kind of the natural? I know what my dad talks, how he moves, and kind of his facial movements, and I can imitate those.
I just want to point out I was at none of the auditions or at none of the screen tests. It was purely Gary Gray and the brass at Universal. So what I would tell him is how we felt, how I felt about this person at this time, how I felt about that person at this time, just my mental state. But that was pretty much it. Of course, when we start shooting, I was there on set, but it was really about, letting him know my mental space, not telling him how to move, how to act, how to talk, or none of that. It was just, what did I think of Easy at this time? What did I think of Dre? What was I thinking of Jerry Heller, Rand, Yella, DOC, just kind of giving them the circumstances.
That's invaluable for an actor to have that motivation or that inner insight. It's so cool that you could do that. Also, I want to point out, people forget that in his Hall of Fame speech, Michael Jordan also complained about how expensive the tickets were. So never lose that energy, Michael.
That's what made him a 6-time champ.
There you go. Hey, Q, so I can't let you go without asking you about the Lakers, man. They're 500. You got questions about Darvin Ham. Is his job secure? He says Jeannie Buss has his back. What, as a lifelong Laker fan, what is your assessment of the season so far, and how can they get back on track?
Well, unfortunately, I've been on tour and haven't been able to really check them out and see, throughout the duration of the whole season. But it just seems like the guys that they got last year need to pick it up. We picked them up around the same time last year, and it's time to pick it up and play like you're trying to get a spot in the playoffs and win this thing. Teams, they had a terrible record last year, turned it around, and made it to the Western Conference Finals. So, who knows? They may think they could do the same thing this year. And that's a mistake. They should really start honing them skills. And, you still got, the Nuggets out there. They out there, ready to look like to play for another championship. So, you can't play. It's time to strap it up and get busy.
We got to make sure Darvin Ham sees that.
Yeah. You got to send that to Coach Ham.
Yeah.
Wow, great stuff from Cube. That's the first half of our conversation. If you want the second half, it'll air on Tuesday right after headlines here on Oddball.
Thank you for watching Oddball.
Medusa! They're going to green screen the snakes in there.
We do not have the budget for that.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Medusa.
That was so dumb that it was funny. Okay.